Alright, so I don't know who needs to hear this at the moment, but if you're not being as creative as you want to be, don't be so hard on yourself. Right now we're living through one of the craziest times ever on this planet, so it's bound to mess with your head. And the thing is, there is hope. In today's video, I'm going to show you an ancient tradition that has not only helped me regain my creative flow, but has also made me better in the process. I'm Ishan Kadaru, and on this channel I help musicians, producers and other creatives level up their content with over 25 years of my experience working for acts like Blue Man Group, Imogen Heap and Cirque du Soleil, to name a few. So if that sounds interesting, make sure to hit the subscribe button to get my latest content. Before we move on, let's make one thing really clear. Creative ruts are terrible to be in. Things don't flow as freely as they once did, and when creativity strikes, we usually grasp onto it so hard because we want to have something to show for it in the end. And that is precisely the problem. We grasp so tightly that the flow that we are seeking just disappears again, like a dream upon awakening. Now, it doesn't matter what type of creator you are. You could be an author, a designer, an actor, or a musician like myself. The one thing that we all have in common is that we are driven to express ourselves and for the creative source to use us as its instrument. But in order for this to work, we have to have a clear lines of communication with this source, and it has to be able to flow through us freely. Now, sometimes what can happen is these lines of communication can become clogged up, and this can be for many reasons, but two of the main reasons that I know of are stress and fear, two things that are very prevalent around us right now during these current times. And when things do become clogged up, a lot of times we start creating from here instead of from here. Now, sometimes that can work, but more often than not, it doesn't, at least for me. Now let me tell you a quick story. A few months ago I was going through a real creative rut because of all of the coronavirus related fear and stress that we're all experiencing, and it was really blocking my creativity. Around this time I rewatched one of my all-time favorite documentary films called Samsara, and in it, Tibetan monks demonstrate their ancient tradition of creating sand mandalas. They spend days creating a magnificent sand mandala with all of its intricacies and minute details, only to sweep it all away at the end. This might seem crazy at first, but there's a lot to be learned from observing them. You see, they are driven by the process and not by the finished product. It's all about the process, the journey, and experiencing it to the fullest without any thought about what will come of it. It was then that I had this sudden realization that this was the approach I needed in order to reconnect with my creativity again. I just had to create for no other reason than the creation process itself. So I went down into my studio and made a deal with myself. I was going to make music with the intention of deleting it once I was done, no matter what. Just like the monks, I was going to focus solely on the process of creating something beautiful and meaningful. And once it was done, I would let it go back to the ether where it came from. Before I knew it, I was having a blast, purely in the moment, making music that moved me on a deep, deep level. Not letting anyone else's perception of me hold me back, the creativity flowed again as fresh and as clean as ever. It was such a great experience that I found myself reflecting on what had happened, and here's some of my thoughts. You see, when you create something with the intention of wanting something from that creation, be it admiration, respect, or money, you are already boxing in your creativity and adding pressure to the situation. There's a sense of being confined, which will always kill a sense of creative flow. But by creating something purely for yourself in that moment, you really quickly realize there are no rules. You can literally just go nuts and do whatever it is you want. And as you'll see, it is so easy just to let go because there will be no evidence whatsoever of what you have done because you get rid of it. All that will be left is the experience you had and the insights that you have gained. Just think of how it was to play as a child, playing for play's sake. That's what we're going for. Now, before we continue, if you have any suggestions of anything that has helped you in the past get over a creative block, please leave a comment below to help myself and others in the future. And if you want to see more of this type of content, make sure to hit subscribe and the notification bell And you might also like to sign up to my newsletter where I share really cool things that I come across every now and again. Alright, so in order for you to get in touch with your creativity again as soon as possible, here's what I want you to do as many times as necessary in order for you to unblock your creativity. First of all, go grab the tools that you need to create whatever it is that you would like to create. Then I want you to make a deal with yourself that you're going to eradicate whatever it is that you create once you are done with the process, regardless of how good it will end up turning out. For this exercise, you're just going to offer it back up to the universe where it came from. Now, once you've made that deal, just let go and go for it. Do whatever it is that feels right in the moment. There is no right or wrong. You're not doing this in order to achieve anything. You're literally just doing it to have fun, like you did when you were playing with your toys when you were a child. Play with your instruments, with your tools, and just do whatever it is that wants to come out. You can literally use this time to live out whatever artistic fantasies that you've had over the years, but that you've repressed for whatever reasons. And then once you're done, hit delete. Erase whatever it is that you've done. Throw it away. Burn it for all I care. But set it back into the universe from where it came from and offer it back up to the creative source with thanks. And that's it. If you've enjoyed this video, here's another video that I made recently that I think you will enjoy as well, where I go down a crazy sound design rabbit hole, which is another great way to unblock your creativity if you're into making sounds. Before I go, I'd like to leave you with this one thought. We are currently living through some of the strangest times ever in human history, and our species could use every little bit of positivity it can get its hands on. I want you to remember that you can use your creativity to add positivity to this world and make it a better place. So with that in mind, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you very soon. Peace.